You're not going to believe this, but for the first time in almost 20 years, Google is finally about to let you do the one thing you've always wished you could do with your Gmail account. Change that old, maybe embarrassing email address. So let's break down how this is all going to work.
Come on, I'm guessing this hits a little too close to home for a lot of us. You know the one I'm talking about, right? The one you picked based on your favorite cartoon, a video game character, or just something you thought was hilarious in middle school. And for the last 2 decades, you've been stuck with it. And look, this isn't just some minor annoyance. This comment right here from TurboFool, it just nails it. This is how millions of us feel. People's lives change, names change, and that email you made when you were a teenager might not really fit the person you are today, especially when you're sending out resumes. This sums up exactly why this update is such a huge deal. Okay, so to really get why this is such a massive deal, we got to look back at the old rule. The one simple, unchangeable rule that's been in place pretty much from the very beginning. It was simple. If your address ended in @gmail.com, that was it. You were locked in, for good. The only way out was to create a whole new account and say goodbye to all your history, your emails, your connected services. It was basically a digital dead end. But it seems like all of that is finally about to change. So let's look at the proof, because this really does feel like a new era for our inboxes. Okay, check this out. The difference is night and day. On the left, you've got the old policy, with that kind of vague word usually, but on the right, from a newly discovered support page, is the new policy. It's direct, it's clear, and it signals a complete 180. This is the change we've been waiting for. Now, okay, before you go rushing off to your settings page, there's a key phrase here, gradually rolled out. This info is actually first spotted on a Google support page that was only visible in Hindi, which kind of suggests it might have gone live a little earlier than planned. So the point is, it's coming, but it might not be there for you just yet. All right, so how does this whole thing actually work? It's not as simple as just hitting delete on your old address. The key thing you got to wrap your head around is this idea of an alias. Right, and this is probably the most important part to get. Your old address doesn't just disappear. It becomes an alias. Just think of it like a nickname for your inbox, you know? This is what makes sure you don't miss any important emails that get sent to your old address while you're transitioning. And honestly, this is where it gets really good. Your old address, it just seamlessly forwards everything to your new one. You can still use it to log in, and this is huge. All your stuff, your photos, your Drive files, all of it stays completely untouched and safe. It's a really, really smart solution. And here's another thing that should help you sleep at night. That old username is basically retired from circulation. It's yours forever. It's linked to your account. No one else can ever snatch it up, which is great because it prevents all kinds of confusion or, security problems later on. All right, this all sounds amazing, right? But like with any big tech change, there are some rules. You absolutely need to know these. Let's dig into the fine print. First thing to burn into your brain is the number 3. You can change your @gmail.com address a grand total of 3 times. That gives you 4 addresses over the lifetime of the account, so yeah, you're going to want to choose that new username wisely.
And the second magic number here is 12. Once you make a change, you are locked in for 12 months, a whole year. You can't delete the new address, you can't change it again. So, this is a commitment. So let's just quickly recap that fine print. On top of that 12-month lock-in, you might still see your old address pop up in older stuff, like calendar invites from before you made the switch. And here's a pretty cool little feature. You can actually still choose to send emails from your old address if you want to. Okay, so we've gone through all the techie details and the rules. Let's just take a step back for a second. Why does this update actually matter so much to you? When you really think about it, it all boils down to one thing. Your email address is basically your main digital ID, right? It's what you use for everything. Banking, jobs, your personal brand. This change finally gives you the power to let that identity evolve as you evolve without having to nuke your entire digital life and start over. It's about making your digital self match your real self. So when this thing finally rolls out to your account, here's where you're going to look for it. Just head to your main Google My Account settings page, and the option to change your Gmail address, it should be right there waiting for you. And all of this leaves us with one final and pretty big question. After nearly 2 decades of being stuck, now that you can finally change that old email address, are you gonna do it?